Broadcasting from Park Avenue West, you're watching WMFD Television, Channel 68.1, Mansfield.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
And I just started dealing with things one by one. You know, is this really going on? How about I take myself off of that, or, you know, and I really just started focusing on me and paying more attention to myself and the things that I needed without medication.
Maybe an hour after we got the message that we lost Danny, Danny's sister said to us, you know, we were all crying, and she says, what do we do? What do we tell people? And I'm like, baby, we got to tell them the truth. This is nothing that can be hidden, because otherwise the suicide will win.
We're not mental health professionals. This is something that happened to our family. We direct people other places. And most important of all, I think, don't quit. Keep fighting. Keep living. Things will get better.
Good evening and welcome to Sparking the Conversation. I am Donna Heck. I'm here with my husband, Jeff Heck, and we're with 33 Forever. We are excited to be able to bring you weekly half-hour messages, stories, and resources surrounding mental health topics and challenges. Our show's purpose and hope is to bring both information and inspiration, making conversations about mental health the norm.
We have a special show tonight. We're pleased to welcome back two special guests from last week to Sparking the Conversation, Ashley, Coy and Chrissy Cowell. Now, to remind you, Ashley works at Family Life Counseling and Psychiatric Services here in Mansfield, and she's a certified chemical dependency counselor assistant and a peer recovery supporter. Chrissy is also a certified peer recovery supporter, and she works with New Beginnings here in Mansfield as a counselor's assistant. Both Chrissy and Ashley have their own remarkable and inspiring stories of recovery and resilience that they shared part with last week with us, and they're sharing the rest tonight. Welcome back, guys, to Sparking the Conversation. Again, thank you so much for coming back. We've never done this before with a guest the second time around, but your story last week was, honestly, it was so important, and it was so inspiring, and I think your story has to resonate with so many people who've seen this, because you know, we know that substance use disorder is so prevalent in our society. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this. So let's just remind folks a little bit of your recovery and your story. So Chrissy, you're 3.5 years sober.
Yes.
Just very recently, correct?
Yes.
Correct? Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Ashley, you're 2.5 years sober. And you guys went through programs at New Beginnings. You shared some stuff with us about your struggles and how it took several times to kind of get to the place where you could really achieve your sobriety and maintain your sobriety. But you met at New Beginnings and you established a relationship there and a friendship, and then you rekindled it recently as professional peers now, which is what you are, right?
Yes.
Chrissy, tell us about what led you to want to be a part of helping people in their recovery as opposed to being someone in the recovery process. I know you're always in recovery, but you know what I mean.
So there were a lot of people at New Beginnings that impacted me when I was a client there, and I always wanted to be one of them. And then as I got sober, and the longer I stayed sober, I'm like, if I could help save one person, if I could impact one person, then it's going to make everything that I went through worth it. It'll make sense. It'll answer some of my questions, like, why me? Why did I do this? Why did I survive that overdose? And, why? So things are just starting to make more sense, and I just get to help people today, so.
Wonderful.
It is. That shows your resilience, and you had said to us, and this was just something that sparked something in us. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Right.
That was a mantra for you?
It was something I hated hearing, but then I figured out that's part of the solution. The only thing that has to change is everything, so, and it's all me.
And I think both of you made that point really well in the last episode, which was that you both recognized in your individual ways that the common denominator, I think you used this term last week, Ashley, was that you were the common denominator, and that's what had to change. So what led you to now working in the recovery field?
Spreading that awareness and inspiring hope, giving back, and letting people know that it's possible. Recovery, in the beginning, it is not an easy thing. You are taken from a place where you're not held accountable. You can do what you want. You're fighting these demons. Even after the drugs go away, you're still fighting the demons. And I just want to, let people know that it can be okay. You can get through it. And like I said, just being there for somebody other than myself, because I made my recovery about myself. I made my drug addiction about myself. And I want to make it about, helping other people, so that they can find their inner beauty and, that inner love the way that I did.
We've heard from professionals, and maybe you guys have heard this in your recovery program, but when you really start to make a change in yourself, when you know that you're on the path to recovering from whatever you're recovering from, is when you can finally reach out and help somebody else with that.
Right, and tell your story about what happened, because telling the story can be just as painful, reliving it. You've watched so many people, I'm sure, start to recover and fall back as you did. Yeah. With that in mind, what would you tell somebody who is going into treatment for the third, fourth, fifth time?
At least give it a chance. Take that first, step. It's going to seem like a giant leap, but, it's so worth it. I say it every day. I tell at least one person every day that, recovery is beautiful, and I'll continue saying it.
I remember one of the first times we talked to you, that was something that really stuck with me that you said, and it came, I could tell it came from a place of sincerity. Chrissy, what about you? What do you say to somebody who's new in the recovery process, or new, newly just out of detox, for example, and now they're facing that battle?
I would tell them to try something different. Take suggestions, get out of your way. I mean, I was my own worst enemy. I was my biggest roadblock. And take responsibility for your part in the things that have happened to you. Let the rest of it go. Because I just say that because there were certain things that had happened to me, and I had to say, wait, had I not done this, or this, that wouldn't have happened, and I had to accept my responsibility and then let the rest go.
Yeah, you two are great examples of that, and we want to hear a little bit more, but we do have to take a break on Sparking the Conversation, so we'll be back with Ashley and Chrissy shortly.
Hi, I'm Joe Trollian, the Executive Director for the Richland County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board. Addiction to drugs and alcohol create a personal struggle as well as impact those around you. You are not alone. We have many professionals and organizations who care. Reach out for help today. Know it before you need it. Visit Know It, the letter B, the number 4, the letter U, needit.com.
Brought to you by the Richland County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board, growing and preserving a legacy of hope and success within our community.
At Menards, shed some light on your home with over 800 outdoor lights and find your style with Patriot Lighting. You're guaranteed to find the perfect light that will match your taste. Add a modern touch to your outdoor living space with a poppy decorative wall light. It creates a dazzling look that will last for years. Keep your yard lit and secure with a security light from Halo. Save 11% on all outdoor lighting right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
We are more than a counseling center.
More than just a medication or therapy session.
What do I like the most? It's gotta be the team.
Providing the highest standard of care. That's just what we do.
And equipping patients with coping skills to be successful. That's so important.
It's simple. We are just hopeful. We are hopeful for our patients.
We are hopeful that we can help them find their way to a better balanced and more resilient self.
We are Hope 419.
Visit us today at hope419.com.
Introducing Granite Stone Blue, the most durable ultra non-stick cookware at the most affordable price anywhere. They come with vented tempered glass lids and are 100% dishwasher and metal utensil safe. You can get the Granite Stone Blue 12-piece set for just 4 easy payments of $49.95. As a bonus, we'll include our stainless steel steamer and fry set. Plus, you'll get our Granite Stone Blue bakeware set, yours free. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. That's an incredible 20-piece Granite Stone Blue set. Order now.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back again to Sparking the Conversation here on WMFD. We're with Ashley and Chrissy, and they are both recovered patients from New Beginnings. And New Beginnings is part of Catalyst Life Services, which is here in our area. And we think it's incredible that you went through the program of addiction recovery and you are giving back to it. But we talked also about mental health and dual diagnosis. Can you tell me a little bit about when you realized that there were some mental health challenges in there that kind of paralleled with your addiction? I don't know, Ashley, if you want to talk first.
So yeah, mine, it was different from Chrissy's because she had noticed at a young age, that she had, different things going on. I had used, for almost 20 years of my life. So once all the drinking and the drugs were taken out of my life, then I realized, okay, something's not going on right up there, when things would happen in relationships, especially with my ex, I didn't have to deal with any of it. I would just either get high or drink. So when all of that was taken away, the scary part came to, figure out what I was dealing with and break it down. But I'm glad that I was aware. It made more sense as to why my mind went into that dark place.
Absolutely, and then you were able to deal with that part of your recovery because
and how to handle it.
Absolutely, exactly, and use and the one thing I loved, you've said it so many times, is your tools in the toolbox.
Yep.
People have to have those tools, and they need to learn them.
Yeah, I keep it in my pocket at all times. I do.
That's good.
I do because, that it does scare me. Everything that I've worked so hard for can be taken away in an instant. But I keep those tools so near and dear to me because where I was 2.5 years ago is a place that I never want to go back to. So that's what I do. Keep the toolbox and, the sober support.
Yeah. Chrissy, your story, your mental health journey is a little different than that. So maybe you could share that with the viewers if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed at 14 with depression, and throughout my life I heard different terms. You're depressed, generalized anxiety disorder, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, and I'm just like, what is going on with me? I didn't know. And I just always felt like something, like I was different, but I didn't know what was going on. No one ever said the word trauma to me, because some things happened when I was younger and nobody ever said anything. I was instantly put on antidepressants and I would go to the doctor and prescriptions would be written, or, I just never felt heard. So I just took these things. And I think that kind of set me up for, my addiction when it really started, pills are going to fix it, and then, they're not strong enough, and I think it was just a snowball effect because for so long it's here, take this, oh, it causes that side effect, take that, and so as I started getting sober and everything, I really started looking at my mental health, like, am I normal? Is there really something wrong with me? Like all these things that they have said, and like Ashley said about a toolbox, I never had coping skills. I never knew any other way. I knew to take pills to help with this or pills to counteract that, and today I have coping skills and a support system, and I utilize those things. So,
which is really amazing, and it's part of what the journey is when you finally, and you said it really well, Ashley, when you finally get the substances that are numbing you, out of your system, then you can really deal with what's happening. But I think in our last show we talked about, and Donna read some statistics about how common it is for people who have substance use disorders to also have dual diagnosis, as we call them, which is also a mental health challenge of some kind, regardless of what it might be. And you guys have struggled with that too, and so common, such a very common problem at this point.
But there's hope for it. And, you know, we said, Christy, in the break, you're not your addiction. You're not your diagnosis. You're so much more than that. And once people learn that, then I think that they can begin to recover, at least from the mental health side.
When you guys came out of, and I don't mean came out of the recovery program, but came out of the intensive recovery program at New Beginnings, for example, how do you deal with the mental health challenge that you have to be facing at that point? Because I'm sure you have the shame, you have the guilt, you start to face the things that maybe you've done to yourself or your family or your friends. I mean, how's that when you come out? What's that like for somebody in that space?
So I had to remember something I was taught. The whole, I'm not what happened to me, I'm not what I did, you know. I mean, what I did, that's who I was. That's not who I am today. You know, obviously, addiction and feeding a habit causes you to do things that sober you won't do. So I just had to let go of a lot of things, accept that, you know what it is. I did do those things, or, you know, whatever. And when I got overwhelmed, I would just have to journal, you know, write things down. I stuck with counseling. You know, I did all of my aftercare, relapse prevention and individual counseling, and, you know, I was on medications to help with my addiction and mental health, and I just started dealing with things one by one. You know, is this really going on? How about I take myself off of that, or, you know, and I really just started focusing on me and paying more attention to myself and the things that I needed without medication, you know, because I just wasn't sure, and I don't know who I am today. I'm having a great time figuring it out, right? I still use those coping skills, and if I have a bad day, well, that's okay. If I choose to do dishes or laundry, okay. If I don't, okay. I can stay in bed, you know, and I'm just trying to figure out my normal. Right. I don't need anybody else telling me what that is. Yep. I'm trying to figure it out for myself, so.
Yep, and that's a key point. And you said you don't know who you are. I think I listened to a podcast today about how it's not important to worry about who you are, who you're going to be. You just need to know we're okay how we are. And you guys are more than okay. And we'll be back. We have to take one more break, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more about the hope that Ashley and Chrissy have.
If you've been injured, whether personal injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you are not alone.
And you definitely don't have to fight alone. While you focus on recovery, let the Heck Law offices focus on your case.
With over 45 years of combined legal experience, we understand your situation and the entire overwhelming legal process.
With an injury you're already handling too much, let our team be your advocate.
I'm Jeff Heck.
And I'm Jeff Stifler.
We're Mansfield's Injury Lawyers. Call us today or visit us at hecklawoffices.com.
I wish my grandfather knew
how deeply his loss would be felt.
But if love could have saved you, you would have lived forever.
I wish she had the chance to grow up and learn more about what life had to offer her.
I am so glad someone reminded me that I'm worth it and will always be worth it.
I'm glad that I have people now that support what I want to do in my dream of helping other people.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not 1, not 2, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-374-3671. That's 1-800-374-3671. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
And welcome back to Sparking the Conversation. We're here with Ashley and Chrissy, and we're talking about their amazing journeys of recovery. And it's been an incredible 2 episodes that we've gotten to share time with you guys and really get in depth of your stories because, I just think they're so important. But we love to kind of give a message of hope, if we can, to people who are listening, and we've got to hear a few minutes, but Ashley, what's the best thing about being where you are now, being sober and being in recovery as you are this long?
There are so many things, the good days, the bad days, the days where my kids, my 3 girls, are running around fighting with each other. Just being able to help other people. And reminding myself every day of the life that I don't want to go back to. So there are a lot of things to be grateful for, being in recovery. And so I'm just in a really good place.
Good for you.
And your best line is recovery is beautiful.
Yeah, recovery absolutely is a beautiful thing. Like it makes me emotional, because I was probably one of the most hopeless people, when I first got into recovery. I thought that I couldn't be fixed. I had done this to myself, and there was just no hope for me. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are still struggling with those feelings. And that's why I say, that recovery is beautiful, because I went from the darkest place that, I've ever known to where I'm at now, and never thought it was possible.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely a life giver.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Chrissy, what about you? That same question. Really.
Best
What's
part of
the best
recovery?
part? Mm-hmm.
I'm free.
Love that.
And I am happy. I'm living. I've never lived before. And, every day is exciting, and some days they are tough, but my worst day today is still better than my best day out there. Yeah. But I just have a calm that I've never had before, and things are just okay.
Your stories, guys, honestly, the bravery that you've shown, not just coming on here and telling your stories, which is amazing, but the bravery you've shown about fighting through the feelings that you were just describing, Ashley, that you've been describing all in this 2 episodes, Chrissy. I mean, it's inspiring to us. It's not a life that we know, but there are so many people out there who are struggling, and it's so important. And what you guys have said is it really, you're helping people tonight, whether you know that or not, but you really are.
You absolutely are. And you faced what you needed to face, and you went through it. Jeff, you said we haven't lived that. I'd spoken to a psychiatrist about Danny's life and how I wanted to help people. And I said, okay, I can't help people who have had drug addictions because I haven't felt that way. And he said, all you need to do is you place your crush or your issue, and it's a blank. They have theirs, but either way, you're all working toward the same thing. We're trying to help people, and that you guys can help people who are struggling with depression, wanting to take their lives. You just are a true inspiration, and I encourage everybody who hasn't gone to see our first episode last week, if you weren't here, to go back and rewatch it.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you will be so inspired between what they shared, where they are now, and the life-changing women they are today.
Ashley, Coy, Chrissy Cowell, you guys are heroes, honestly, to us from our perspective of outside looking in, but you really are, and I know you're helping many people. We're going to be back in a minute with a really fun memory moment here on Sparking the Conversation, and our ladies are going to stay with us here and join us for that. And we'll be back in just a minute here on Sparking the Conversation on WMFD.
Now get a double cheeseburger or a 6-piece chicken McNuggets with small fries for just $3.50.
Catalyst Life Services, a comprehensive behavioral health organization, has been serving the community for 70 years. Our wide array of wraparound services and our ability to treat the whole person is what sets us apart. It's everything you need in one place: mental health, crisis, detox and addiction services, case management, and peer recovery support. We even offer vocational programming to get you back to work. Catalyst Life Services. Call today and get the help you need.
Introducing the Bell & Howell Light Bar, the incredibly powerful portable light with 60 LED lights. One charge can give you 12 hours of power. You'll get the Bell & Howell Light Bar for the low price of only $19.95. But wait, order right now and we'll ship it to you absolutely free. And when you order today, you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee, but you must order now.
To order, call 1-800-697-2133 or order online at trylightbar.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Larry Stein. You know, we're always looking for new ways to cover stories in North Central Ohio. You can help us too by sending us news tips, some story ideas, pictures, or videos right to our newsroom email. Just send us your tip to newsroom@WMFD.com.
Welcome back to Sparking the Conversation, and our memory moment tonight is we're sharing one of Danny's favorite things to do in the world.
Absolutely, favorite
and it's
thing.
to eat pizza.
And we're going to give the Cove a little shout out tonight. The Micey family, the Cove Pizza Shop, their coffee shop and pizza company. And we've got Danny's favorite. She was a vegetarian, so cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza.
That was what she liked.
We're sharing it with our guests.
It smells so good. Yeah, we're sharing it with Ashley and Chrissy because they were nice enough to come back for the second time around and finish their stories with us. But pizza is that really was probably Danny's favorite food.
Favorite food in the world. It was. Cheese pizza all the time. Comfort food, celebration food, holiday food.
Yeah, how
anything.
can you go wrong with pizza, right? So
we're going to enjoy our pizza. And we thank you again for joining us. Go ahead, get some pizza. Think of Danny. Think of Sparking the Conversation. And we will be with you again next week. Same time, same station on WMFD.